All right, welcome back. It's political season. This month, voters in two main political parties will have a chance to meet in neighborhood caucuses and choose delegates, decide their candidates. And we're taking some time to introduce you to the men and women that want to represent you. Joining us this morning, Republican Senate candidate Chris Herrod, who is running against Orrin Hatch for the U.S. Senate. And he's joining us. Good morning. How are you?
Pretty good.
Yes.
How about yourself today?
I'm doing well. Good to see you. Let's just start with the obvious, and that is you're up against an icon. Mm-hmm. How do you approach this? Well,
you know, the reason that I'm running is I feel that it's time for a change. Senator Hatch has had 36 years to accomplish the things that he needs to accomplish. Again, I have great respect for him, but I feel a sense of urgency. I truly believe that we have 2 or 3 years to make a difference. We've got to get the debt under control. We've got to make sure that we develop our natural resources. And like I said, Senator Hatch has had 36 years. If he can't do it in 36 years, then probably give somebody else a chance.
So you think you'll be able to attack the debt problem better than Orrin Hatch has? Has he done a poor job at this?
Well, again, he's raised the debt ceiling 15 times. You know, that's one of the things we have to do in the state of Utah is balance our budget every year. I've been known as a fiscal conservative. I've led the movement in state sovereignty, pushing back on the federal government. I believe that accessing our public lands are one of the ways that we can get out of the economic mess that we're currently in. And again, I believe that they're very talented people in Utah. If it's not me, I believe somebody else should be given a chance. So.
Yeah. You mentioned energy. What would you do about the energy?
There's more oil in Utah, Colorado, and Wyoming than the entire Middle East. The federal government's simply gotten in the way. Our school children have been the ones that have suffered because we don't have the tax base. And what's happening to rural Utah is actually dying just because they send their kids off to college, they get college degrees, and there's nothing for them to come back to. Yeah. Mining jobs, oil exploration require geologists, forestry people for harvesting. So there's a lot of good jobs that can be done for our rural Utahns.
Yeah. Obviously, Orrin Hatch has a rather large war chest of money. This is going to be an expensive race, regardless of who goes up against him. How are you going to compete financially? Well,
fortunately, I believe in the caucus system. Utah is unique in that. You know, I've got 4,000 delegates. It's the only way that somebody like me with limited resources can run. Right. But I have great faith. You know, many people have said that the delegates are unsophisticated. They're not. They study the issue. They look at
well, that's why they show up at town hall meetings, because they are involved.
No, that's exactly right. Yeah. And they study the issues, you know, and it's not easy to convince them, but there's a chance. It's much easier to do 4,000 than the entire state.
Yeah. Your big issues in the legislature were financial, I take it.
Well, it was one of the founders of the Patrick Henry Caucus that pushed back on state sovereignty. We like to say that we were pushing state sovereignty in the 10th Amendment before it was cool to do that. The lands issues. It was one of the members of our Patrick Henry Caucus, Representative Carl Wimmer, that did the bill of opting out of Obamacare. Yeah. We were kind of scoffed at for that, but now we're in front of the Supreme Court because of a sophomore legislator's bill.
Yeah. Now, obviously, a lot of campaigns go negative, and some people say that the negative campaigning, whether you like it or not, works. Are you going on TV, and are you going to be going negative?
You know, I hope that people vote for me because they look at my record. If you look at the things that I've done the last 6 years, I haven't been afraid to stand up to the Republican establishment when they're wrong, or the Salt Lake Chamber when they're wrong. Yeah. And I think we need somebody that's willing to stand on principle.
All righty. Well, Chris Herrod, we do appreciate your time coming in here this morning. I know you obviously have an uphill climb on this one, going against Senator Orrin Hatch for the U.S. Senate. Caucus is coming up.
And make sure everybody goes out on March 15th, and actually I think we have a good chance.
All right, thanks. Nice to meet you.
Thank you very much.
All right, take care. Well, there are some...